Nick Woltemade sends message to Anthony Gordon after Newcastle United win over Benfica. Newcastle United saw Anthony Gordon find the net once again as Eddie Howe's side beat Benfica 3-0. Anthony Gordon is certainly enjoying himself in the Champions League this season. Gordon scored against Barcelona in Newcastle's first game of the league phase, before then bagging a brace against Union Saint-Gilloise. Gordon was the man of the match in Jose Mourinho's eyes as he scored the opener in Newcastle's 3-0 win over Benfica. Harvey Barnes added a brace to hand Newcastle the victory and a second win in 3 Champions League games. Nick Woltemade sends message to Newcastle United star Anthony Gordon. Newcastle's wingers have struggled for Premier League goals, but they certainly turned up against Benfica. Gordon notched a goal and an assist, Barnes scored twice, and Jacob Murphy set up Gordon's first-half strike. England international Gordon was the star of the show, and he took to Instagram after the final whistle to celebrate. UCL nights at SJP, said Gordon, as he posed with his Man of the Match award in his hands. Newcastle star Nick Woltemade replied with just 3 words, stating, "Great game, twin." We have to point out the height difference between the pair, but we can see some similarities in terms of their hairstyles. Woltemade didn't find the net himself, but he clearly loves playing with Gordon and loved the winger's performance against Benfica. Newcastle teammates respond to Anthony Gordon. Woltemade was not the only Newcastle player to send a message of support to Gordon. Midfielder Joe Willock said, "World-class brother," and Bruno Guimaraes simply stated, "MVP." Jacob Ramsey and Jacob Murphy posed emojis in support of Gordon's display, while Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers sent a love heart emoji. Gordon can be very pleased with his performance on Tuesday night, but must now take that form into Premier League action, starting with this weekend's clash against Fulham. Arsenal net 4 goals in 13 minutes to blow Atleti away. Gyökeres ends goal drought as Arsenal thrash Atletico Madrid. Victor Gyökeres ended his goal drought with a brace as Arsenal earned a stunning 4-0 win against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. After both sides struck the crossbar, Gabriel Magalhaes headed home the first of Arsenal's quartet in 14 scintillating second-half minutes. Gabriel Martinelli added a second with 64 minutes gone before Gyökeres landed a quick-fire double in the 67th and 70th minutes to leave Diego Simeone's side shell-shocked. Atletico had scored 7 goals in their opening 2 Champions League matches but rarely looked like threatening Arsenal's back line as Mikel Arteta's men recorded a 3rd clean sheet in as many games in Europe and a 4th in a row in all competitions. They have conceded just 3 times in 12 matches this season. Arsenal joined defending champions Paris Saint-Germain and last season's beaten finalists Inter Milan on 9 points from the 9 available and on course for the knockout rounds. Arteta's side set out their stall for a rapid start and might have been ahead inside 5 minutes. Ebereki Eze created space for himself on the edge of the area, with his resulting strike looping off David Hanko's ankle and over goalkeeper Jan Oblak. However, the crossbar denied Eze a first Champions League goal before Declan Rice thudded the follow-up into the ground and over. Eze was involved again with 19 minutes gone with an eye-of-the-needle pass to Bukayo Saka. The England winger beat the on-rushing Oblak to the ball, but the goalkeeper did just enough to divert his dinked effort away from danger. David Raya then presented Atletico with a chance when he needlessly delayed clearing the ball by the corner flag, but Julian Alvarez's long-range effort sailed just wide of his far post. The offside flag came to Atletico's rescue when Martinelli converted Saka's cross in the minutes before half-time. Moments after the interval, Alvarez was given time and space to turn on the edge of the box. His fine curling effort had a diving Raya beaten, but it was the home side who were saved by the woodwork this time round. Then came the goals. Martinelli won Arsenal a free kick on the touchline and Rice's sumptuous set-piece was begging to be converted, and an unmarked Gabriel did not disappoint. Arsenal's second came from a fine driving run from Miles Lewis-Skelly, who has been on the periphery so far this season. The teenager picked up the ball in the center circle and drove forward, taking 4 Atletico players with him, before finding Martinelli. The Brazilian had the time to curl his shot into the far corner, and the hosts had doubled their advantage. That then became 3 when Gyökeres ensured his streak without a goal for club and country did not extend into double figures. Eze failed to volley home Martinelli's cross, but the ball fell to Gyökeres, who managed to dig out his shot which deflected in off Hanko's heel. Remarkably, Arsenal, and Gyökeres, had another 3 minutes later. Rice's corner beat everyone bar Gabriel at the back post and the Brazilian's header was bundled in off Gyökeres' stomach. The Sweden international had gone 38 days without scoring but now had 2 goals in 3 minutes. Simeone was deflated on the touchline while Arteta oversaw his side's 6th straight win of a season which is promising to deliver so much. Jamie Carragher suggests new positions for Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike to solve Liverpool issue. Jamie Carragher urged Liverpool to rethink tactics and play Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike together amid struggles to justify the club's huge summer spend. Carragher had some ideas for Liverpool's Arne Slot after 4 tough losses. Former Liverpool defender and current analyst Jamie Carragher recently suggested that the Reds must rethink how they deploy their high-profile attacking signings. And the timing couldn't be more urgent, after Carragher responded to Wayne Rooney's criticism of Mohamed Salah. Liverpool is reeling after a 4th consecutive defeat and a summer outlay of more than £400 million that has yet to deliver the expected results. The integration of Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike into the squad has been anything but smooth. Wirtz, who moved from Bayer Leverkusen in a club record £100 million deal, has yet to register a Premier League goal or assist in his first 8 appearances, despite drawing Luka Modric comparisons from Jamie Redknapp. Manager Arne Slot has called the circumstances unlucky, but the concerns are mounting. He's been a bit unlucky with the finishing when he's given his teammates chances, but, in general for a 22-year-old, it's quite normal that you have to adjust to going to another country, let alone going to the Premier League, Slot said. Meanwhile, Ekitike, signed for approximately £79 million from Eintracht Frankfurt, started promisingly with 5 goals in 10 appearances, but he's been left out of the starting lineup in key recent matches. Carragher argued, Wirtz can't be kept on the bench forever. He plays in that left channel for Germany, and that is where he did so well at Leverkusen. Ekitike could play off Isak, and playing Wirtz there and coming inside, it could get Kerkez higher up the pitch. It is about getting that front 5 up the pitch. When you have spent big money, you have to get those players out there together. It will be interesting to see how he gets Isak, Ekitike and Wirtz in the team, because at some point, he has to when you pay that much money for them. That turbulence comes amid a slump for Liverpool. The club's 2-1 home defeat to Manchester United extended their losing streak to 4. Ekitike and Wirtz were Liverpool's 2 major additions this summer. Slot admitted the challenge is significant. Losing 4 in a row is another challenge. That's the life of a football manager. The heavy spend and disappointing return have raised questions about the direction of the squad. Tactically, Slot is shifting away from the system that brought success under the previous regime, moving from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 setup to accommodate players like Wirtz and Ekitike. But the new structure has not yielded clarity or cohesion on the pitch. In reality, Wirtz has been shoehorned into roles that may not suit him, deployed on the left yet expected to deliver the cutting edge he showed at Leverkusen. And Ekitike, despite his early promise, finds himself behind both Isak and the veteran Mohamed Salah in selection. The result? A squad that on paper is brimming with talent but lacks coherence. If Liverpool are to salvage their season, Slot must deliver immediate clarity on how Wirtz, Ekitike, and Isak fit together. Fabrizio Romano explains Marc Guéhi's most likely next step amid Liverpool interest. Liverpool fans are saying that if the club had signed Marc Guéhi, they might not be dealing with their current run of poor form. Sunday's loss to Manchester United marks the Reds' 4th consecutive defeat, largely due to persistent defensive problems. Ibrahima Konate has struggled for much of the season, even though he showed some improvement against United. Virgil van Dijk has had to do a lot of the heavy lifting at the back on his own. Meanwhile, Guéhi continues to impress for both Crystal Palace and England. That is exactly why Liverpool made a strong push for him on deadline day last summer. Last week, Palace manager Oliver Glasner confirmed that Guéhi has no plans to sign a new contract with the club. Now, transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has clarified the situation surrounding the defender's future and Liverpool's position, given that his current contract extends until the summer of 2026. Marc Guéhi expected to leave on a free transfer. If Liverpool had been able to get a deal for Marc Guéhi over the line, there is little doubt he would be starting by now. With Konate struggling for form, the England international would have offered much-needed stability at the back. Liverpool could revisit their interest in Guéhi when the January window opens. While that remains a possibility, Romano believes it is far more likely that any move will happen next summer. There is now the official confirmation from Oliver Glasner. Marc Guéhi has decided and communicated to Crystal Palace that he's not going to sign a new contract with the club. He will leave in 2026. The most likely solution, from what I'm hearing, is on a free transfer next summer rather than in the January transfer window. That's the feeling for Guéhi. We never know what can happen in January, but the intention is to go on a free. Liverpool are still interested in Marc Guéhi, but they are not the only club. There are several clubs in Spain, Germany, Italy. It's going to be an open race. Liverpool and Guehi was a done deal on deadline day, but then it collapsed. Liverpool are still interested, but nothing is done. So, we have to see what will happen, concluded Romano on his YouTube channel. Liverpool need January defensive reinforcement. There will likely be plenty of suitors for Guehi if he moves on next summer, but Liverpool may not have the luxury of waiting that long. Arne Slot has so far shown little faith in Joe Gomez this season, though circumstances may soon force a change in approach. Konate cannot play every match, and with Gomez the only real backup option, it is a fine line to walk. Neither player has a strong history of staying fit, and any injury before January could seriously hurt Liverpool's hopes of competing for trophies this season. The Reds must act early in the transfer window to ease that burden. While Guehi might not be available then, making an interim move would allow them to go all in for the Palace man next summer without risking the short-term stability of their defense. Arne Slot issues clear response to Mohamed Salah dip in form as Cody Gakpo claim made. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah has struggled for form at the start of the season, but Arne Slot is not worried about his star man, who he took off against Man United. Mohamed Salah has struggled at the start of the new season. Arne Slot was asked directly whether Mohamed Salah's powers are waning after a tough start to the new season, but the Liverpool head coach was quick to point to other missed chances against Manchester United. Dutch forward Cody Gakpo hit the woodwork 3 times and missed a sitter near the end of the game, while Alexander Isak went through one-on-one with goalkeeper Sen Lamens in the first half but could only produce a tame effort that was easily saved. New signing Florian Wirtz, meanwhile, made an impact when he came off the bench in the second half but was left out of the starting 11 for the second game in a row. I think after games like this, it is quite normal that people are very focused on individual players, Slot told Sky Sports. In the first 5 or 6 games, it was mainly about the signings we did. Now, we have to talk about Mo Salah. I think we have had more than enough chances to score a goal. Mo missed a big one, and some others missed big chances. We are not used to this from Mo. We needed a goal, but we also needed a player who can create something in that end phase. That is what Jeremy Frimpong did, and he had a great action for Cody Gakpo. A dejected Arne Slot after Liverpool 1-2 Manchester United. If we were 3-0 up, then I think Cody would have scored. I cannot guarantee this, but like I said, every player has tried everything, but it didn't work out. Liverpool took 19 shots in total, but scored only once. Brian Bumo and Harry Maguire were more clinical for Manchester United, who earned a first victory at Anfield in almost 10 years. It makes it even harder if you are 1-0 down after 1 or 2 minutes, Slot added. If you told me that we would play against a low block and a team that plays so many long balls, that we would be able to create so many chances, I would think that we wouldn't lose the game, but we did because we missed a lot of shots. The few chances we conceded led to 2 goals, and again, a set piece is partly the reason why we lost the game. If you lose a game of football, especially after you have lost 4, maybe I should not talk about that. No excuses. We have had more than enough chances to score a goal. Breaking. Ange Postecoglou sacked by Nottingham Forest after 39 days in charge. Nottingham Forest have made a stunning managerial change, confirming that Ange Postecoglou has been sacked with immediate effect following a disastrous start to life at the City Ground. The decision comes after 8 winless games, leaving Forest languishing near the bottom of the Premier League table and prompting the club's hierarchy to act swiftly. Postecoglou, who joined from Tottenham Hotspur just over a month ago, was seen as a bold and ambitious appointment. A manager renowned for his attacking philosophy, quick passing, and fearless approach to football. However, Forest's squad appeared to struggle adapting to his high-risk system, conceding heavily and failing to secure a single victory under his reign.